Good morning. Good morning. It is
Morning.
the crack of dawn, friends. So thank you so much for being here and for joining me this morning. Just going to get my view sorted out here. Oops. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right, bright and early on this Saturday morning, but I'm excited for those of you who are joining us live here in the Zoom room and those joining on Facebook. We are live streaming to the Stepping to the Edge Facebook group as well. So really excited for that. And just want to acknowledge that it is 8:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So for those of you that are here live, I appreciate you and want to acknowledge that you've taken the step for yourself this morning to do a little something for yourself this morning in the weekend. One of the things that I often say to people that I heard that years ago that made an impact on me was that you have a choice. You can choose to use your weekends to escape your life, or you can choose to use your weekend to create the life that you desire. And so I want to acknowledge this morning that you're here investing a little bit of time in yourself. And hopefully that is a step for you in the direction of creating the life that you desire and the life of your dreams. So thank you for being here. This morning, we are going to dive into the wheel of life. If you had an opportunity to download the workbook and you have that in front of you, amazing. If you do not have that in front of you, no worries. All you need is a blank sheet of paper and a pen. And this session this morning will be recorded. So you can follow along with me in real time, or you can just sit back, grab your cup of coffee, listen in, and do this exercise later when you have more time to really dig in and think about it. What I will encourage you is, as we go through this morning, as I go through the exercises, allow yourself some space later today or later this weekend to really think about this wheel and these exercises that we're going to go through. I think it's really important to allow yourself that time and that space, and it'll make sense as we begin to dig into it. But I first want to say that there are just over 100 days left in 2023, which to me is, that's amazing to think that we're already at this point. It's fall, the temperatures are dropping, it's cool, it's still really beautiful and sunny, which is amazing, but it definitely is very cool. And when I heard that, when it really, sunk in for me that we are just over 100 days left in the year, there were a couple of reactions that came up for me. The first one that came up for me, honestly, was, oh my gosh, there's only 100 days left in the year. And I've set these big goals for myself. And I have these, targets that I want to achieve. And I'm not there yet. And so there may be some, moments of either regret that pop up for people, or pressure or overwhelm. And what I want us to do this morning is I want us to reframe that. I want us to set aside those feelings, and I want us to really embrace the possibility and the opportunity that these 100 days can provide for us. It's 100 more days that we can dive into making changes in our life, whether that's in your health, in your career, in your relationships, whatever area of your life that you choose to really pour into over the next 100 days. I want you to acknowledge and understand that you can make a huge impact in a short amount of time. And so much so that I did a little math this morning. Over the next 100 days, if you spent 15 minutes, all of us can find 15 minutes. If you spent 15 minutes pouring into one area of your life, maybe that's your business, maybe that's your health, maybe that's fitness, whatever that is for you. If you spent 15 minutes every day for the next 100 days, you would have invested 1,500 minutes. That's 25 hours. Imagine what you could do in 25 hours, friends. There's a huge impact that you can create. And for those of us that may be building, businesses or have a side hustle, things like that, there is an incredible amount of impact that you can create in 25 hours. So I just want to remind you of that 15 minutes a day, that one small step, that one action can create incredible impact and really can start to build momentum and a ripple effect. So with that, we are going to dig straight into the wheel of life. And so the wheel of life, friends, what I want you to envision, and actually I have a copy of it here for anyone who doesn't have it in front of them. I'm going to hold it up here to the screen. And literally what I want you to envision here is simply a pizza, a bike with spokes, whatever, a pie, whatever resonates for you. And imagine that it has 8 slices. So your pie has 8 slices, and each of those slices represent an area of your life. And the areas of the wheel of life might include areas like love and relationships, health and fitness, career and growth, personal development, creativity, money and finances, spirituality or faith, and fun and recreation. So those are 8 potential labels, areas of your wheel of life. Now, what I really want to encourage here is for you to take personal responsibility and choose the labels of the areas of your life that really resonate with you. These are some of the most common areas of the wheel of life, but I want you to feel empowered to label them as it feels right for you. So label with terms or areas that resonate with you, that are important to you. You might want to include motherhood or parenting if that is something that is of importance to you. You might want to change money and finances to wealth if that word resonates better for you. If you know me and you've spent some time with me, you know that I really love to dig into the power of words and really tapping into words. So as we go through this exercise, I encourage you to label your wheel of life with areas of your life that resonate with you. Choose labels, choose words that feel good for you and best reflect your life. Now, as I said, if you've downloaded the workbook or a blank copy of the Wheel of Life, I encourage you to grab it now, have it in front of you. If you have a pen or a pencil crayon, whatever you choose. I like a sparkly marker myself. I'm a sparkly pen kind of girl, but you choose whatever resonates for you. And if you don't have it, as I said, grab a blank piece of paper. And what I'll encourage you to do right now is just to draw a big circle on that piece of paper. So just like you were drawing a pie or you were drawing, a pizza, just draw a big circle and divide that circle into 8 even slices. So I'll give you a second to do that. Grab what you need, draw your circle of life. I have a little sip of my coffee here, bright and early this morning. And then as you have your 8 sections, your wheel of life created, then I want you to go ahead and label each section. So if you're creating your own, again, label those up. And again, I'll run through the most common, labels in those sections for everyone one more time. So first one, love and relationships. Second one, health and fitness. And again, feel free to label these however it resonates best for you. Next, career and growth. Personal development. Creativity. Money and finances. Or again, you could label this wealth if that word resonates more for you, if that's something you're looking to welcome more in. Spirituality or faith. And finally, fun and recreation. Once you have those all labeled, I want you to look at your pie. And I want you to think about each slice of your pie individually. So each area of your life as an individual section. So, for example, if you have health and fitness on your pie, I want you to take a look at that section and I want you to rate that section from 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. How do you feel about this area of your life? Do you feel nourished in this area of your life? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel fulfilled? And rate it from 1 to 10. Trust your gut here. Don't overthink it. This is just the beginning. And then what I'll encourage you to do is to go through each of those sections in your wheel of life and complete that same rating. So you're going to go through each section. You're going to take a look at love and relationships, health and fitness, career and growth, personal development, whatever your 8 sections are. Go through those and take a moment now to rate those from 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, 10 being where you feel the most fulfilled, the most nourished, and the most satisfied in those areas. And I'll give you a moment here to do that. And for our friends that are over on Facebook, please feel free to drop notes in the comments as you go along. I will definitely come back to Facebook after this recording and we'll answer any questions that you might have, but feel free to be adding those in for those that are live streaming over on Facebook. And then for those of you here on Zoom, when you have completed your ratings, feel free to give me a thumbs up so I know we feel good about where we're at. Okay, awesome. All right, so we've rated our wheel of life, right? All of our areas of life. And I will show you quickly. I drew one for myself this morning and I actually colored in my section. So I had numbered them and colored them in. But what you ideally have is you have your 8 sections and then maybe you've got like 5, 6, 4, 3, 9, and you've got them all numbered, right? That's what your wheel of life looks like. So now I want you to take a moment and just look at your wheel of life. Look at the numbers that you've written down. Are there any areas that surprise you? Are you surprised by how you've rated those areas? Or would you say, yeah, you know what? I'm in alignment with how I rated those areas. How do you currently spend time in those areas? So when you're looking at your wheel of life and you are seeing an area that maybe has a higher score, maybe it's a 7, an 8, a 9, do you spend time intentionally in that area of your life? And are you seeing that come back to you in your sense of satisfaction and your sense of fulfillment? In the sections that maybe you've rated lower, consider what would it look like? How would it feel to be or have a 10 in that area of your life? So for example, health and fitness. If you rated health and fitness in your life a 5, really take some time. And this is where I'm encouraging you to take time this week, today, this weekend, over the next week, to really allow yourself a moment to think about these and to reflect on these. I think it's important to allow yourself that space. We won't have that space here in our time together, but really think about it. And if you were thinking about like health and fitness, if you rated yourself a 5, what would a 10 feel like? How would a 10 feel? How would you feel in your body if you rated health and fitness a 10? How would you feel in your energy if you rated yourself a 10? How would you feel? Would you feel inspired? Would you feel energetic? Would you feel strong? What are the words that you would use if you were rating yourself a 10 in that area of your life? So really think on that. And for those that are just joining in, we've drawn our wheel of life. So if you have a moment, if you don't have it in front of you, draw a big circle, divide it into 8 sections. And just to review, those 8 sections can be you can label them any area of your life that you choose. Most common areas: love and relationships, health and fitness, career and growth, personal development. We're good? Yeah? Okay. I'm getting a thumbs up. Everybody's good that's here on Zoom. So we're good. Okay. So rate those sections between 1 and 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Love that. Okay. So as I was saying, take some time to really reflect on how you feel about these ratings that you've given yourself, and then the next step is really for us to think about what area of your life are you desiring to pour into? So when you look at your wheel of life, you look at how you've rated each of the areas of your life. What is the area that you desire to pour into over the next 100 days? Now, friends, as we talked about at the beginning of this, if you spent 15 minutes each day pouring into this one area of your life, it's 25 hours you're going to invest. Think about the impact that you can make in 25 hours. And this area of your life doesn't necessarily have to be the lowest rating on your wheel. It can be one of the highest if you choose it to, if that's where you're feeling really drawn to pour into. So it really just needs to feel really good to you. And what I will caution here is that if you are somebody like me, has overachieving tendencies, likes to get their hands in all of the things, you may be tempted to choose more than one area. Slow it down, friends. Choose one area to focus on. Okay, I recommend this so that you don't become overwhelmed and so that you allow yourself the space and the time to build sustainable practices or habits that will support you. And one of the most beautiful things about this is as you begin to pour into one area of your life, you will naturally see other areas of your life improve. And I'll share some examples about that in a moment. Once you've picked your area of life that you choose to pour into over the next 100 days, I want you to ask yourself these questions. What would a score of 10 in this area of your life look like? Get really specific. How would it feel? How can you integrate more of this area into your life? And I'll share an example. Let's suggest that you chose health and fitness as your area that you want to pour into. What could you do daily that would fulfill your goal in this area? Perhaps you could set a goal to go for a walk, 30 minutes each day. Or we've been talking about 15 minutes. Maybe it's just 15 minutes a day, right? What would that look like? Could you schedule time in your calendar to go to yoga twice a week? Or could you commit to meal planning to encourage healthy eating? And if you're anything like me, meal planning also avoids those 4 o'clock conversations with your family around what's for dinner, which is our most hated conversation when we don't have an actual answer to that. So I encourage you to try that one for sure. But really think about what would a 10 look like for you in that area? What would be involved in that? And this is where I really always will encourage you to tap into feeling. Feeling is so important, right? How would it feel? And it's not even about the number. I actually would encourage you to take the number away. If you've chosen your area of life, once you've chosen it, it doesn't matter what the number is. You're just looking to improve your feeling of fulfillment in that area. So what would it feel like to be more fulfilled in this area? Okay. The next step as you think about this area of your life is what will having more attention on this area of your life do for you? This is a really important one. This is where you're really going to begin to tap into the why. Because while we talked about 15 minutes a day over 100 days, I can tell you, friends, that the one time that you run up against something where maybe it's coming to the end of the day and you've booked that yoga class and you're tired and you just don't feel like it can be really easy to give up on yourself. And tapping into your why is what's going to help build your resilience and is going to help to fuel you and motivate you to keep going. So, when you're choosing the area you want to focus on, it's important to get really clear on what elevating that area of your life will do for you. How will it feel to be more nourished in that area of your life? What would that look like? And think about what other areas of your life could be positively impacted by you focusing on this area. Who else in your life could be positively impacted? Reflecting on these questions will help you to get clear on the area of life that you choose and what's important to you in it. This is really your why, as I said. And when your why is strong, your resilience and your commitment to your goals will be too. The next step is to identify any resources or support that you may need in order to feel fully nourished in this area. This is one not to be glossed over. I think resources are truly important. And this is where you may need to identify supports for yourself. Maybe if you are looking to add that 15-minute walk a day, maybe you identify a friend or you research and find a walking group that goes out that okay, now I'm accountable to somebody else to show up. I know that I'm going to get there. That can be a really beautiful support. If you are focusing around personal development, maybe that's around, okay, personal development, what do I need to research as far as courses or books that I would like to read that are going to help me in this area of personal development? And is there something specific within personal development that I want to identify? It might involve you writing in a journal or using a calendar to schedule this block of time for yourself each day and each week. It might involve speaking to a spiritual mentor or a trainer, working with your partner, or even with a coach. And I know from personal experience that working with a coach to identify and create a plan for how I wanted to elevate certain areas of my life was really, truly critical to my success. And a coach really helped me to stay on track when times got tough and really helped to break down the goals to manageable pieces. And as I said, there's a bonus when you choose one area of life to focus on. And that is that when you focus on one area of life, you will notice over time that other areas of life will start to rise at the same time. And so here's an example of what I mean by this. Let's take personal development as an example. So you've decided to take a course or go back to school. You're focusing in on some area of your own personal development. Now, this action, working on going back to school, reading certain books will help to elevate you in this area of life. And perhaps you will move that area of life from a 3 to, let's say, a 7 as you do this. While you're taking action in this area of your life and growing from the course that you're taking or the books that you're reading, the content that you're taking in, you may also notice that what you're learning applies to your work or your job. And suddenly you realize that your development is not only nourishing your personal development, but it's also helping you to fulfill areas in your business or in your career. It's a win-win, right? Another example of this can come through meal planning. And I talked about meal planning, and actually meal planning is my target. This is in my health and fitness. This is my area. So I can share this for my own personal goals. So by committing and following through on planning our meals each week, we will avoid those nights where nothing is planned, everything's frozen, and we order in. By meal planning, we know what we're eating, we're nourishing our bodies with healthy choices. And because we're not ordering in, we're saving money. Now we're seeing an elevation in health or in finances, in wealth, right? In that money and wealth area. So each of these areas are so beautifully interconnected that it's really important to acknowledge how you will see many areas of your life elevate as you begin to focus in on one. But what I will say to you is focus in on one, take the opportunity to really establish goals. What we've done here this morning is really provide a great assessment and a great overview of here are the areas of your life. Here's where you are feeling fulfilled or most satisfied. You've identified now areas of your life where you would desire to pour into. Choose one. And then I encourage you to set really specific actions. It doesn't have to be a ton of things. It can be 2 or 3 things. Maybe it's just one. Maybe it's just one. If you are thinking about health and fitness, maybe you rated yourself as a 4 and you desire to feel more energetic. Think about what that would mean for you. How would your life be impacted? And then what can you do to generate that energy for yourself? Is it that 15-minute walk every day? Is it getting up and stretching and getting outside first thing in the morning to go for a walk? Is it finding a walking buddy and heading over to a local mall or a local gym and walking the track? Whatever that looks like for you. If it's in personal development, maybe you set a goal for yourself to get up 15 minutes earlier than you do, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and you read something that is going to enlighten you, that's going to challenge you for 15 minutes every morning. It doesn't have to be hard, but you have to be committed to it. It's 100 days, 15 minutes a day, 1,500 minutes, 25 hours. I always encourage, if you've listened to my podcast, you've heard me say it, take one small step today. This is your one small step. For those of you that are here live with me, for those that are watching the recording or the live stream, this is your one step today. You did it. You did it. And you invested more than 15 minutes, which I truly appreciate. I value your time as much as I value my own. And I know that time it's a precious gift. And you've given that gift here to all of us today, just being here. So I want to acknowledge that and appreciate all of you. And just really want to encourage you. This is a really fun exercise. It can be really fun to sit back and think about it and reflect on this and to choose that one area of your life and then set really clear intentions for yourself. Going through the Wheel of Life exercise is just one part of it, but it's setting the goal, setting the intentions, and then taking the action on the intention. And this is really where personal responsibility comes into play. Nobody else can get you to take the action. You need to take the action. And this is where your why needs to be super important. You will know that you've chosen the right thing for you when you feel so motivated each day to take action in that area. Like nothing is going to stop you from taking action in that area because you have now tapped into how you are going to feel at the end of 100 days. Imagine if we all come back together, and maybe this is like, maybe we need to put this in the calendar. What if we all came back together on New Year's Eve for 15 minutes and just talked about how we feel in that area of your life? Imagine what you could celebrate. Imagine the difference that you would have made in your life, in one area of your life, by investing 15 minutes a day. It's transformative, friends. It is absolutely transformative. So that is where I'm going to leave us, friends, for our beautiful friends over on Facebook. I am going to end our live stream. As I said over on Facebook, if you have any questions, drop those in the comments. I'm happy to come over and I'll answer all of those questions. For my friends here on Zoom, hang tight. We'll come back. I'll open it up for a little bit of Q&A, but we'll say goodbye to Facebook for now. All right, friends, I'm going to pause the recording. And so, friends, as we wrap up this recording, I just want to share my deepest gratitude for all of you who joined me live, joined me on the live stream, and who are here watching this recording. Thank you. Please feel free to reach out to me if we've never met in person. I'm Steph Johnston. I'm a certified health and life coach, and it is my passion to support you, beautiful humans who are looking to live a life of fulfillment, of joy, more health, more happiness. I am so grateful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, friends.